What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, Jim with J Money. We back with another day, with last day of 2020, guys. Man, I've been counting down to this day. Crazy year, a lot of crazy stuff going on, man. Can't wait to the new calendar year, guys. Make sure you go to SBR Picks /NBA to check out all the articles and NBA content that we have over there. I'm your host, J Money. That's my guy Jordan Sharp, and that's my guy Junior Browne. Man, we're gonna break down these NBA games today, and we're actually gonna go through some games for tomorrow's card as well. A little early look for tomorrow's card. No show tomorrow, guys. So, but we definitely gonna try to get to some money today, guys. What's up, Jordan? Everything good with you, my guy?
Yep, all's good. One much play from the show yesterday. Pretty easy first half over cash in that Charlotte game. That was probably the craziest game of the night. I know we're not doing a ton of recaps. We've got a lot to do, but definitely the biggest surprise last night, Charlotte Hornets. But so congrats on anybody who made that. But I made a little money on that one. Couldn't get my money on my racers though, man. In the college side, I was a little pissed off at that. But otherwise, good day in the NBA. So that's all good. How about you, Junior?
Yeah, the Celtics came through again, so just happy to see that. When Jason Tatum was announced that he'd be playing, I felt like future Hendrix, free bands.
Yeah.
I was trying to get more money on that game, honestly, but most people took it off the board when that was announced, and then it came back as a completely different thing. But it's good to always catch without having to stress the game out until the last second. Let's get back to it again today. Some good basketball yesterday. If you're a fan of basketball, I've been saying this since last year. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie is one of my favorite players. I don't care if he burns sage. I don't care if he thinks the earth is flat. He's nice. All right. And when I pay money, I want to see nice ball players. He's entertaining every single time. Trae Young got a lot of game, though. And I really like what I saw with Atlanta. If you watch that game, it kind of harps to what I was saying. Atlanta hung around the entire game. Atlanta competed in that game. They're a young team. They still got a couple more steps to take, but they're definitely a team that's trending in the right direction. So I kind of enjoyed watching that. I can't wait to talk about today's games and tomorrow's games. So I'll just pass it over to the host with the most, J Money.
Yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, and the Hawks are number one in offensive rating, guys. I had to look at that. Now it's time to start looking at some stats after we got a few games. The Hawks with the number one offense in the league right now, and it's not really surprising, especially if you watched the game yesterday. Not to recap too much, but we did have the Celtics back-to-back days. They took care of us, Junior. And then, I mean, like you say, once I saw Tatum was in, I had to go and smack him as well, man. So we was all over the Celtics in there. When my Mavs, man, it was a huge letdown for us. We knew one of those teams was going to have a letdown after two big games by each one of them, and the Mavs just stunk it up, man. Even in the second half, I had to hop on a little Hornets there, +8 in the second half where I saw them in that first half, and it wasn't even close. The Heat, they came back and got their revenge. Lakers on the first game, a little back-to-back, they end up getting it done on LeBron's birthday, and the Clippers actually smack up the Blazers in that one, man. Trent didn't play, and Kawhi came back. So the interesting game versus the Hawks and Nets as well. Nets end up coming back. But let's get to today's games, man. That's why you guys are here. Real quick, for the first game of the day, we got Cavs versus Pacers. It's on the rundown. I don't have a lot on it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Junior, anything on this one with my guy, Pacers versus Cavs?
Yeah, I don't want to be long-winded at all today because we got a lot of games to run down. I actually don't have a play or much of an opinion on this game. I will not even be watching this game. That's it for me, bro. Let's move on.
I'm right there with you. Jordan, your team, Jordan probably watched this game. Your Pacers, they, in theory, in a bounce back spot, kind of sort of a high spread here versus the Cavs. Cavs have been kind of playing tough here. I'll probably be watching some of it just because I'm interested in the Cavs. They look a lot better this year, but Pacers in a bounce back spot. Jordan, what do you think about your team today?
Yeah, that number is sharp, though. That's a number that I'm probably going to stay away from, despite the fact that Cleveland's missing a ton of bodies right now from the forward position. Kevin Porter Jr. obviously hasn't played at all, and then Okoro's out again today. So there's a lot of missing bodies. For that reason, I do have a prop play on this one that I just locked in right before the show. I missed the move on it. I almost got it at even money, but I had to settle for 10 cents higher than that at -110. But it's Domantas Sabonis over 11.5 rebounds in this one. Now, I know that may seem high, but this is a dude that regularly averages over a rebound every 3 minutes he plays. If you go up and average out, he's a little under that this year. I think that's why we're getting such a good number on this one. The Cavs just going to stink it up. They really have nobody who can guard him, and he's absolutely looking like an all-star right now. has been the Pacers MVP through 4 games also as well. He's going to absolutely blitz that. He sent some tough rebounding matchups too, and this is going to be a nice cakewalk for him. The Cavaliers have just been plummeting in their rebounding numbers to start the season. Lead first half over 2, but I like this Sabonis play a lot better. So when I found that one, I completely got off of that one just because the matinee scares me a little bit betting overs here. So I think Sabonis taking advantage of some smaller Cavs. Hopefully Drummond's matched up with Miles Turner in this one. Sabonis free for a lot of rebounds.
Got you. Yeah, no look for me on that one as well, guys. And the total has been taking some steam up from open at 217.5 up to 220.5. So look like the over is taking some money. And I know the Pacers went up to 8, back down to 7.5. No official play for me on that one. No lean anything. I'm with my guy Junior on that one. Next game up, my guys, we got the Bulls versus the Wiz. A lot more interesting game if you ask me. Obviously revenge spot. We've seen these revenge games, the teams that lost the first game, they really start to come out high, really come out pissed. It doesn't matter if you lost by 50 that first game, as we saw yesterday, the team will still come pissed. This team is laying points. This Wiz team, we are pretty high. I think all 3 of us are pretty high on this Wiz team. Line open up at 5. It's up to 6.5. Hachimura is back for the Wizards. Lauri Markkanen is out for the Bulls. Nice little revenge spot. They're starting off 0-4. I would be looking towards the Wizards here early to get off going. Wizards in the first half, maybe first quarter. I'd like them at the full game as well. Maybe when it's at 5.5 up to 6.5. A little too much. I did do a little money line parlay. I'll tell you guys about that. The first half was the Wizards full game money line parlay. But I like Wiz here early. Junior, what do you think? Wiz bounce back in this spot?
I can't lay 6.5 with the Wizards. It's just not a number that I can get down with. I'll do 5.5. But I do like your lean. I have a very heavy lean Wizards first half, which is still. But the thing is, that's 3.5 too. If it comes down to 3, I'll probably get involved. If it goes down to 2.5, I'll be all over it.
Got you. Jordan, what do you think, Karen? I think that 3.5 is nice. It's fair for the first half. Like I say, if the Wizards come out here hot, Jordan, they're coming. I mean, the Bulls are nice stuff, but Jordan, I mean, it's a nice revenge spot, in my opinion, for the Wizards. What do you think here?
Yeah, the Bulls are nice, but they're just not nice on defense, which is the problem here that they face in this game. Now, granted, they played really well in this first game, but this is the NBA, and this is where when you play a team like this the second time in 3 nights in the same building, like they're going to be able to make some adjustments. Obviously, Billy Donovan's a better coach for the Bulls this year, but long story short, I don't have a play for this game, but I think you guys are on the right track. The Wizards, if the bounce back narratives and I got to do more research into these games that are on the second, the second time in 2 nights or 3 nights that these two teams play one another this year with the schedule the way it is. It's going to be a lot of instances where these first quarters and first halves do cash, I think, for those teams that lost that first game. So I think you guys are on the right track. I just don't think I'm going to get there tonight.
Got you. And I was real close on that first quarter for the Wizards. It's at -2.5, so I didn't take it. It's a heavy lean for me, but I really like the Wizards in the first half. And like I say, that full game parlay, I did put the Wizards money line with something else just to get a little plus 110 there. Junior, was you about to say something on this one?
Yeah, I was about to say, I just feel like the Wizards, they got guys that compete hard every single game. It's hard to imagine they're going to go 0-5 against a team they just played the other day that's not even better than them. It'd be one thing if the Bulls are better than them, but the Bulls are not better than them. They're basically even, and without Lauri Markkanen, the Wizards are definitely better. The Wizards have the 2 best players on the court in that game, so definitely interested in the Wizards in the first half. And you are right, Jay. 3.5 is a pretty fair price, but three is the number that I'm looking for. Hopefully it gets there. We'll see. I'm going to keep my eye on it for the rest of the day, though, for sure.
Got you. Like I say, man, the Wiz, like they're getting Hachimura back as well. Could throw things out, but they need them. So I mean, you're 0-4 team, getting one of your third best player. They need them, and it's not going to throw things off. Russ started off 0-4 with the Thunder before. They went like on a 7-game win streak. He talked about it. He's hoping for that same type of magic. I think they're coming today. They started off 0-4. They're not looking for that type of start. It's a better Wizards team this year. they're coming today. They're coming. Next game up, 76ers versus the Magic. Just tweeted out a little play about this one, man. Once I saw Terrence, this is another one. You're going to see some injuries, guys. Once I saw Terrence Ross, I already feel like this was a little even game. I'm already looking into it. The 76ers looking to make a statement. First televised game, NBA TV, first facing the undefeated team. Come back off a road trip. They're missing some players here, making it in his back. But Terrence Ross out. I looked at it. He's averaged 21 points off the bench, guys, in these first 4 games. Junior, what do you think about this one? I know you're not a big fan of Philly, but I really think that this is somewhat of a statement game for the 76ers. Are you taking a Magic home dog here?
Yeah, I got Magic plus 3.5 in both my pockets. I am not a Philly fan. I made that pretty clear, and I think that Orlando's playing pretty well. Now, I will say this: I'd be a lot more confident on this bet if Terrence Ross was playing, because I made this bet. I remember, Jay, I talked about this bet a couple of days ago. So I made this bet immediately as soon as the line came out. I'm all over Orlando here. I just think that right now between the two teams, Orlando always brings defense, which could be a problem for Philly's offense that tends to struggle. And Orlando's offense is clicking, and I think that the main reason that their offense is clicking is something that is not a gimmick, and that's they've picked up the pace. They got a lot of athletes on that team, Terrence Ross being one of them. So again, I'm not happy that he's out, but they still got a lot of horses on that team, a lot of guys that can get buckets, a lot of guys playing with confidence. Even Anthony Cole, he's a lot better. Cole Anthony. I'd be saying shit backwards all the time. Cole Anthony is playing a lot better than I thought he would, because I thought he was undersized, but he's actually pretty athletic, and he has the one thing you need to be successful as a rookie. He's got a ton of confidence, and it seems like they're letting him have a pretty long leash. So obviously, because I picked Orlando, I'm trying to sell Orlando right now. But again, I think I've also made it pretty clear that I'll be fading the 76ers until they show me that they're the team that they are on paper, which is a good team on paper. But in reality, they're all right. They're all right.
Jordan, what you think here, my guy? Do you think this is more of a bet on spot for the Magic, or you think it's a fade spot for the 76ers?
Oh, I think it's more of a bet on spot for the Magic, just because I don't think they're getting the respect that they deserve quite yet. Now, I am literally in almost the exact same boat as my guy, Junior Browne. I did not make this bet as soon as the line came out. I did make it earlier this morning, about 2 hours before Terrence Ross injury news came out. So I'm probably not going to go ahead and say jump on it right now, but I will say that I do have a small bit of money on 3.5 right now with Orlando, simply because with Ross in, I was a lot more confident, like I said. But this is a team that's very deep at guard and forward. Just to kind of piggyback of what Junior was saying, they do have some bodies that they can come off the bench, even though they are still missing Ennis. Now they're missing Terrence Ross. They're down their 3 best small forwards. That may seem like a lot to overcome against a team like Philly, but they can just slide Evan Fournier down to that small forward position, play a little smaller. And then a guy like Chuma Okeke can come off the bench, who was a first-round pick last year, who's a pretty good 3-and-D guy. He's going to have to be doing a lot of that tonight against Philadelphia. So, they do have the bodies. Cole Anthony's playing extremely well. Michael Carter-Williams has been playing well with the Magic ever since he got here. A little revenge game for Markelle Fultz. He always plays well against Philadelphia. It's leaning me towards Orlando every time. I just can't get away from it. This team is undefeated for a reason. They're going to get the respect soon. I just don't think they're getting it quite yet. I think Philly's got a little bit too much steam here, even with the Ross injury.
Gotcha. I was thinking that as well, the little Fultz, but I had to stop all that, man. You stop all that revenge with the Fultz. They've faced each other plenty of times since then. The Magic have taken care of them as well. They've somewhat had the 76ers number of late, I must say. I looked at it. They've covered the last, so the home team has covered the last 5 times. So the last 3 times 76ers went to Magic, they lost. They had a different coach, though. This is a different 76ers team. It was a different Magic team as well. They had Isaac out there playing. They had Augustine coming off the bench. They had Ross, who always seems to come up with 16, 17, 19 off the bench. He scored 26 and 25 twice off the bench this season. Like I say, it's a huge loss. He's averaged 24 in these 4 games. Huge loss off the bench. You're going to be relying on some rookies to come out there up against some veterans. If you put Thibault coming off the bench against Cole Anthony and neutralize him, you got Dwight Howard coming off the bench who's going back to Orlando. You're going to talk about revenge. It's a long time, but it's just different narratives that we talk talking about. I like the 76ers. Hate to go against my guys. The official show play for me, 76ers minus the 3.5 to make a statement here. They're going up against a 4-0 team. It's a statement game for the 76ers here. They know they're supposed to be the cream of the crop in the East. Spending a little bit too much time on this game, though, guys. Let's get to this next one. We got the Kings versus the Rockets, my guy. Kings versus the Rockets. Rockets getting their guys back. They're coming off a couple losses. They're at the house. Harden, hey, they're going to party tonight. I'm telling you, they're going to party. But they got their guys back. I know the Kings look nice. They look good. They're running and gunning. Looking at the matchup-wise, I think the Rockets going to run them boys off the court tonight. You could think that when they get their new guys, it could throw things off, but they need them. Even with just the guys that Harden had, he was out there balling. Now you add Wall, Cousins. It could get scary tonight, man. They think the Kings a little bit too much overvalued. It's crazy. We never said that, Jordan. What you think about this one? You taking the Kings plus the points?
The line movement agrees with you, but I'm hesitant just for one reason, and is the only reason is like these guys have yet to really play with one another that much. And so you're kind of looking at a team that's still very much in preseason mode because of the COVID issues they had to start the season. And then you're looking at Sacramento, a team that seems to be very much in step, who's coming off of a season with very little turnover, just adding a few more pieces to that pie. So lean in Sacramento, but then I go back and I say, okay, what if Houston just immediately meshes tonight and drops 130 points on the Kings defense, which is also very easily possible tonight too. So I don't want to discount that at all. Just to be quick, since we got a lot of games, lean Kings. I don't quite know if I'm going to get there though, but it is a lean for me tonight on 5.5. I think that the Houston experiment is going to be good, but I don't know if it's going to be good immediately.
Got you. Yeah, I'm seeing some people on the Kings today, man. I'm seeing some people on some of these dogs today. I think it's some of these favors is going to smash. I've seen some very public dogs today, Junior. What you thinking today? Kings look good. Rockets don't. Why are Rockets laying close to 6 here?
Because the Rockets got the names and the Kings don't. That's basically why it is. I think there's some value in the Kings, especially if he gets to 6. I see some books have 5.5 out here. That's kind of crazy. I mean, Houston's clearly the better team on paper, but what if, like you guys have both said, they haven't played together yet. Do we even know that Boogie and John Wall are in shape? I mean, I know they look good on Instagram in that gym that everybody plays at, but like, this is a real NBA game. The Kings been playing for like 2 weeks now, so I don't know. And on top of that, the Kings don't even look bad. The Kings,
they look good.
Yeah, the Kings look good. It'd be one thing if the Kings look bad and it was the same old Kings, but you're saying now they got to win by 2 possessions against a team that's actually looked pretty good and that has pieces. I would lean Kings here at 5.5.
Hey, why don't y'all take them, man? I'm not on the Rockets, especially not at that number. It was at 4.5 last night. I do think it's a smash spot for the Rockets. I do think it's saying something that y'all like the Kings here, but you're not taking them. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all kind of you're a little scared to take them here.
I like my money.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
There's another 5.5 dog I might throw my money away on tonight. That's a home dog tonight that we'll get to in just a second.
I mean, and that's a lot better dog. But this one on the road, no, bro. The Kings are not the spot today. They could cover, but like I say, the people going to like the Kings. People going to take them, especially the way they've been looking. But, I mean, they've been playing teams with not necessarily good defense. They caught the Suns, you know what I'm saying, kind of sleep, which I don't really know how to feel about the Suns. They matched up well versus the Suns. The Rockets, I mean, Christian Wood he's going to feast tonight, in my opinion. Nobody's been able to stop him. They got the defenders over there for the Rockets. This thing, they got the perimeter defenders, in my opinion. But that 5.5 is pretty steep. But I do think that this is a spot where the Rockets could come out at the house and smash with their new players. And people talk about Wall hadn't played. He's very motivated. Wall and Cousins are motivated. So they are coming off the little quarantine. Them boys are ready to play over there. So y'all saw how the Rockets look without them. Now you add them to them. They trying to convince Harden to stay over there. So it'd be interesting to see, man. It'd be interesting to see. I'm heavy lean to the Rockets for me, man. Heavy lean the Rockets first half as well for me. I think they'll come out balling, and they're gonna have close to 5,000 fans at this game as well. So it's gonna have you're gonna have a little bit of home court advantage there. And they can have the coach advantage as well. I always get back to that, but we'll get to it. But next game up, man. Pelicans versus the Thunder, my guy. I'm going right to Jordan, my guy. Tell them why you're liking the Oklahoma City Thunder.
All right, so this is basically one of the reasons why I'm hesitant to take Sacramento because of this exact reason, because they're on the road and Oklahoma City's got the same number at home. It doesn't mean a whole lot this season, obviously, with no fans, but the Pelicans do. I'll start with the negatives first. The Pelicans do scare me just a little bit here, but once again, this is one of the most public teams I think that we have this year outside of the Los Angeles Lakers. And possibly the New York Knicks, but we'll get we're skipping over them for today because we just don't care about that one. But let me move over to Oklahoma City. Someone in his mid-30s, I know what it's like, the difference between getting 4 hours of sleep like I got last night and 8 hours of sleep, and you're going to see the equivalent to that from George Hill and Al Horford after they got that rest and playing some defense tonight. And like we talked about with the Kings, to a much more extent of Oklahoma City, just because you don't know some of these guys' names, just because you haven't heard of them or haven't seen them do things on the court doesn't mean they don't have talented bodies. And the fact that they're getting their veteran leaders tonight back and playing at home and have always played tough, I'm going to fade the public darling here that's been taking money. I think 5.5 is a pretty good play here. I haven't gotten there quite yet, but I think I am going to as my second official, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it now, even though I haven't locked anything in yet. Give me Smokelahoma City plus 5.5. They're going to continue to be disrespected here early in the season. I'm going to continue to take points with them. I may be wrong, but this number, it's the same kind of theory as with Sacramento and Houston. You're asking New Orleans on the road to beat them by 2 possessions. I'm just not quite sure they're ready to do that just yet. I think once again, I think New Orleans, the New Orleans experiment is going to be great in the future, great later this season, maybe even a playoff team. Just not quite sold right now while they're still trying to get things together under a new coach.
Gotcha. Official play for my guy Jordan there, OKC plus the 5.5. Junior, what you thinking in this spot?
My problem with taking the Pelicanos in the spot is that other than Zion and Ingram, none of their guys have played consistent basketball. Alonzo, 1 minute, his shot looks way better because he changes form. Now he shoots from the right side, the proper side of his body instead of shooting like across his head. But he still shoots. Sometimes he's shooting air balls. Sometimes he's making threes. I don't know what's going on with these guys, but I do know that unless the other guys find some kind of level of consistency, it's going to be really, really hard. I'm surprised that Jordan's not on the total here, to be honest, because at least if this. Exactly. At least if there's one thing that the Pelicanos are doing under Van Gundy's playing defense, the total's at 215.5.
Scary.
I don't know why it's trending up, but I like the under in this spot. I'm definitely not touching it yet because I still don't have a feel for totals with teams winning by 50 points. You know what I'm saying? Several times so far. I still got to see how these scores kind of even themselves out a little bit more consistency. But if I was going to ever make a total play this season, I would definitely be leaning towards the game where both teams are definitely going to play defense because Oklahoma City can only win basketball games by playing defense. So you know that they're going to come to play on the defensive end. And it seems like Stan Van Gundy has already got his young team to understand some defensive concepts and they look better on that side of the ball. So that's kind of where my lean is in this game.
Exactly. The Pelicans have been last in pace as well for you total bettors. I don't bet totals, but I'd be looking at it under here. OKC plays really good defense. That's their calling card. The scary thing is with Al Horford out there, obviously, him shooting threes, him and George Hill back in the lineup, I do think that'll help their offense. The way that I'm looking at this game, it's not that and this is the other one. I did do a little money line parlay last night, got the plus 110 with the Wizards. No, I think it was maybe early this morning. I did a few of them, man. But I did the Pelicans money line. It was at minus 220. It's with the Wizards money line. I believe as well as minus 225, man. Got around plus 110 for that one. I just think that the Pelicans going to bounce back here. You really look at the game. So it's nothing against OKC here. I feel like the Pelicans is a bounce back spot. They're coming against they face against them because I really think I'm still high on this team. They're coming off a huge loss versus the Suns where they could have lost by 40. See what I'm saying? You look in the past here. I look towards the future. Okay, boom, I'm watching the game. They getting toasted. absolute throttle. You see what I'm saying? You got a new coach out there with a lot to prove, a young team, a lot to prove. I look at their next matchup and I see OKC, and I just have to look in the past and look in the future. Everything. It's just a perfect recipe, in my opinion. I think the line's going up for a reason. Horford and Hill coming back, and it hadn't moved. It was at 5 last night, 5.5 now. It may be a little bit public, but I really do think this is a Pelican spot. It's a get-right spot. I hopped on the Pelicans at the first half, minus the 2.5. I leaned the first quarter, and I think that the Pelicans are going to get it done in a full game as well. I think it's a double-digit victory for them. Steven Adams coming back to us, you know what I'm saying, the Thunder. They have admitted that their offense hitting already clicking, but I feel like tonight they really have the matchup advantage. The coaching, they're coming tonight, man. I really think so. Last game, this little 2-game road trip before you go back to the house. I like the Pelicans tonight. I didn't take them to minus 5.5, but I do like that play. It's a heavy lean. It's a heavy lean for me, Pelicans, but I'm putting it official that first half minus 2.5, minus 3. I like the Pelicans today to bounce back, and then money line parlay as well. Pelicans and the Wizards. Let's cash this shit. Next game up, guys. We got the Suns versus the Jazz. Suns versus Jazz, real intriguing game, man. I know they faced off a couple of times in the preseason, and the Jazz handled them both times pretty much with ease. Crowder didn't play in either one of those games, but it's just something interesting there. Could be a little revenge spot for the Suns, but it's tough, man. And the Jazz have the Clippers tomorrow as well, Junior. I always love looking into the future at things like that. Could be a tad bit of a look ahead, but they didn't look good versus OKC, Junior. What you think about this game? Suns plus 3.5, plus 4 now, went up to 4. Seems like a public dog, but I think that the Suns may be the right side in this one, Junior.
I'm taking the 4 with the Suns. It's an official play. One of the main reasons I'm doing that is because I've seen the Suns win a couple of games now where Chris Paul and Devin Booker really didn't even have to do much. So I'm actually pretty impressed with their supporting cast, because you know that Booker and Chris Paul can always turn it on at any moment. But it's what are the other guys doing? I think they also have a pretty good balance on the team. Like, did you watch the Pelicans game? They blew out the Pelicans, and I think Devin Booker took like 6 shots or something, like, or maybe 10. He took less than 10 shots. I know that. When was the last time Devin Booker took less than 10 shots in a game? And Chris Paul took like 4 shots. You know what I'm saying? So I really like what they're doing. They're getting a lot of contributions. I mentioned in their last game. Bridges, the kid from Villanova, he's really looking like he stepped up his game. DeAndre Ayton is not a superstar as a high draft pick, but he's a good player. He's certainly not a bad player. So I like what they're doing. They're making a high percentage of their threes. They're playing defense, and they're getting they're making threes. They're making free throws. They're making shots. They're playing defense. What's there not to like? They're number 2 in the league in 3-point defense right now. Number 1 in the league in field goals allowed. Number 1 in the league in points allowed per game. They're doing it. So yeah, I'm all over them. If you're giving me points with them, yes, please.
Got you, Jordan. What you think about this one, my guy? You like the Suns here plus the 4?
I do. It is not my play on this game, but I love that you guys are on it because I think it is absolutely correlated with my lead on this one. Still a lean. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm inches away on betting the under on this one. I'm still seeing some stale 220.5s across some of my shops, and this total has been hit with steam ever since we started, or before we started the show. When it peaked up to 220, and now it's heading back down. I think that's absolutely the right direction for this one, simply because, like Junior was talking about, Phoenix Suns are the number 1 defensive team in the league right now. DeAndre Ayton is a beast. When Chris Paul gets to your team, your defensive schemes are going to improve. And then you're talking about a team in the Utah Jazz who are at home, who probably have one of the better home defenses in the entire league when they're locked in, especially in a game like this where they're playing a high caliber opponent. And on top of that, I think the Suns are like almost dead last in pace right now, and the Jazz are probably going to head down that direction sooner or later. They've played a couple faster paced teams, which has skewed their numbers a little bit in Portland and Minnesota. But now I think you're going to see this total continue to come down. I'm getting close to it. The fact that we've seen some of these totals, like we talked about here, steam upwards. I think is some of the public money where it's like the numbers say it should be an underplay, like we were just talking about. I think this is a very similar situation where these two teams are going to be locked in tonight. This is the marquee game of the night, and I think it's going to show that in the defensive effort we see in this one. I'd lean under. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm looking at a 220.5 right now that I might fire at before we go off the air.
Got you. Yeah, and I lean the Suns, but I don't bet the Suns games. If I take them, the Jazz are gonna smack their ass. If I take the Jazz, the Suns will win the game. No look for me. I'll watch the game. So look, in my opinion, it is somewhat of a look ahead for the Jazz. They did play terrible in their last game, though, so I do think they'll come out with a little better effort. I still don't know what to think about this Suns team. I'm not as high on them as most. It's mainly because of their bench. Their starting five can hang with pretty much anybody, but when it comes to their bench, they pretty much have to do it with defense. Their bench is not offensive at all, in my opinion. And I don't know. It's a crazy game, in my opinion. A lot of money on the Suns, and the line went up to 4. So lean the Suns for me, but I'm definitely not. I'm not betting the Suns games right now. I don't care. I don't have to. So it is what it is. One more game today that we're going to add in because it is the last game of the day. Just real quick, Jordan, do you have anything on Knicks versus the Raptors? Because I know that's what people are here for today's game.
It's a lot of points for the Raptors, especially with the kind of some of the struggles they've been having here. But New York, I think, potentially without Alec Burks tonight, I think that's probably just one I'm going to stay away from. It's just a lot of, once again, it's another one of those things we talk about all the time. There's too many questions. I have more questions than answers. It's a high spread. I'm staying away.
Junior, real quick, anything on Knicks versus Raptors?
It has to be Knicks or nothing. You can't lay 9.5 points with what you've seen from the Raptors so far this season. That doesn't even make any sense.
Exactly. It looks scary. 0-3 team laying the 9.5. I've seen this book before. Usually spells in a blowout, just for what it's worth. I've seen this before. Usually when it's like that and we're like, why the hell is this line this high? And it's like, yeah, it's usually a 15, 20-point blowout. So just take it for what it's worth, guys. We are going to go through a few games for tomorrow. My guys, no official spreads, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about them and see what spots that we like. So, graphic guys, don't go too crazy. We don't have any lines for tomorrow, so we're just going to go through some games for tomorrow. But Jordan, what are you thinking? We got first game up, Grizzlies versus the Hornets. My guy, anything on that one? Anything you looking at that one for tomorrow?
Coming off of that win that Charlotte had last night, I'm very interested to see if they're going to be how many points they're going to be laying in this game, because that would mean that I might take the points with Memphis if the market overreacts to that or if the public jumps on them or something. But that would be the only thing I think I'd be looking for in this one, because I've said before, I think that there's going to be spots like this one, for instance, without some of the Grizzlies' best players, where Memphis could be undervalued. This is one of those spots, especially with Charlotte coming off of how they won that game against Dallas. So that'll be what I'm looking for to see if we're getting Charlotte as 4 to 6 point favorite here. That may be the recipe to jump on the Grizzlies. I don't think it's going to be that long, but we'll see.
You make a damn good point there, because the Hornets are going to be a favorite here, especially where the Grizzlies look. Then everybody's like, oh damn, they are without Ja Morant. Like everybody's starting to be coming to their senses now. Might be they play a lot better defense than the Hornets, Junior. Any quick thoughts on that game tomorrow?
No, the game I'm looking at, if you guys don't mind me talking about a different game.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the Bucks catching the Chicago Bulls off a back-to-back. The Bucks are 2-3, so they don't really have margin for error. They're going to look to start getting right. And if you want to talk about a get-right spot for the Bucks, their next 3 games are the Bulls, Pistons. They play the Jazz, and then they go Cavs after that. So they could pick up, like I said, they're below 500 now after 5 games. They can get right in the next 7 to 10 days. By smacking around some of these garbage teams. Although I do think the Bulls are a level above the Pistons. Milwaukee is several levels above the Bulls. And Jordan, you're from that general area. That's a rivalry game, right? Chicago.
Oh
Milwaukee.
Yeah. I want to ask you too, because you're the Bucks first half savant. Are you gonna? What's that number? What's the first half number for Milwaukee Chicago going to have to be on New Year's Day for you to fire at that? Because that seems like it would be the play with the Bucks coming in.
It's going to be like -7 by big.
It's going to be
it's
going to be 6.5. It's going to be 6.5, 7. And if Chicago loses today, it's going to be like. I mean, it can't be more than 7. So I'll say it's going to be somewhere between 5.5 and 6.5, probably, unless Chicago gets blown out.
I'll say with the Bucks off a loss and Chicago on the back-to-back, I'm saying that this line will be around -10, -11 for the Bucks.
It's going to be 10.5. I have it. My number right now is 10.5.
So 6.5. So it'll be tough to bet that, but still, that would be where I would go with that one if I had to predict it that far in advance.
You got Joel Embiid.
I feel like we should almost have a session to guess the lines. Start handicapping. I mean, I'm sure you guys handicap games in advance just to make sure you're in line with the market. So I don't know if we have time for all that, but
we got time, man. We got about 10 more. We're gonna push to about 15 more minutes, man. So I mean, I don't have to do the guess the line. I'm looking at you where I'm looking at spots where I'm trying to make some cheddar.
Well, so my spot is Chicago. Chicago's going to play tonight. Be a little tired against Milwaukee tomorrow night.
Yep.
The Bucks and the Bulls really, really do not like each other. Like I said, it's a rivalry game. If you really watch on League Pass, the Bulls usually have more fans in Milwaukee in road games on a regular basis. So, Milwaukee's going to be very eager to smack these boys around.
Exactly. So let's look at this Celtics versus Pistons game, guys. What do you think that this, and Blake Griffin, like he's still in concussion protocol as well, Jordan. They are at the house, though, 0-4. It's a bit of a desperation spot, but we know that the Celtics are light years better than them. Be interesting to see if the Celtics kind of rest someone here. What do you think that the spread will be here? I'll say -5, -5.5 for the Celtics. If Blake Griffin out, -6. What you gonna say, Junior?
No. That number sounds about right. But with the Pistons, it's hard to handicap the Pistons because you don't really know who's gonna play when. I got that number at -5 Celtics. If Blake Griffin's out, it's probably gonna go to like at least 6. 6.5. You would think.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's gonna play. He's soft, bro. Boy. Bear the little blood.
But I mean, also like Detroit going after that number 1 pick this year because this draft is just absolutely loaded coming up in 2021. So Detroit, in my eyes, is the early favorite for that. There's no reason for them not to just start that early in this COVID season where they don't have fans in the building. Like it would have been different if fans were in the building. Like I think it's something we talked about at the beginning of the season. Like, so you're right. Like I don't see Blake Griffin playing in this game. Like there's no reason for them to risk their $35 million a year investment. If he's not healthy and they're the worst team in the league. So yeah, I mean if he's out, I mean Boston on the road though is a little shaky, I guess. But I agree they're miles ahead of better of them. So if you're still getting only a 2-possession spread, that may be where the road favorite is the play here. But I don't know if I'm going to get there too because I'm just not really high on Boston right now. I think they got to show me some more stuff outside of Tatum and Browne and Smart, I guess, who played really well last night before I really get invested in them again.
Man, I could go for the rest of this show with Blake Griffin shade, bro. Like, are you fucking serious, bro? I mean, then you mentioned $35 million a year, bro. Are you Blake Griffin, bro? Bro, that guy's a bust, bro. I don't care what nobody says.
They didn't give him that contract. They traded assets for that contract.
That guy's trash, bro. I don't care what nobody say. That guy's trash. Not be a starter in this league, bro. He could be on the Hornets or something. Bring him off the bench. Blake Griffin coming off the bench on the Knicks, man.
The Detroit Pistons traded for Blake Griffin to try to sell tickets.
Yeah. Man, he's not getting another contract, man. Get out of here. Stop it with this guy, man. Oh, I got hit him. I got a little blood. Oh, I'm out. Man, get the fuck out. All right. I'm sorry, guys. Guy's a joke, Junior. The game I want to talk about, man, revenge game, Jay. God darn on me. Spurs at the crib again. They should have LA back, man. Might get a little LeBron. LeBron get it. Oh, he have his birthday. You see what I'm saying? They get the win. Oh, he drinking big wine, smoking big cigars. I'm telling you that right now. Whatever party they can find, they're at it. I like the Spurs. I've seen this last year as well, man. They had a little revenge spots versus some top tier team. I think it was the Bucks. We hopped on the Spurs. Oh, outright win, baby. Outright win. I like it again. And the Spurs, they look like they playing this year. They're going to come back. I like them tomorrow. I like the Spurs tomorrow. And they're going to be catching another 6, 7. And I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to win. What you say, Junior? What you think?
No, I got this line. I'm just looking at. I got this projected at 6.5. So
The
we'll
public
see.
will bet that up to Junior. They'll bet up to 7, Junior. Not to cut you off, but public gonna be all over Lakers again.
Probably. Listen. That's what I'm looking for, right? We got our numbers, and we're looking for certain numbers. So, public wants to bet that up. I will be in the Spurs business if it goes up to 7.5 for sure.
And I talked about this yesterday when I was thinking about betting the Spurs first quarter, and I'm glad I did not, because it's going to be an even better play potentially on Friday after coming off the circumstances that have just been discussed. So yeah, I'm definitely in agreement on the Spurs. If they're catching too many points at home, definitely going to like them early here. I don't know about late, but I like investing in San Antonio Spurs derivatives.
Line closed at 7.5 last game. I just kind of saw into the future a little bit, and you might want to bet it early. I think LeBron's sitting this one out. He was questionable last game, can't play. I don't think they're going balls to the wall in this one. We know that they're going to be setting games out. Let me see just real quick. So let me see. That game is on the first, and then the next game versus Memphis. It would be really nice if it was like on the first of the back-to-back. It would be really nice. Second game in a road trip. May not rest him, man. I know he was real close to not playing. Yes, so he ended up playing on his birthday. I really do think it was just because it was birthday. It was like, he can't sit on his birthday. They may not take this game as serious, guys, and I really think the Spurs coming. They're going to be the home dog. If everybody does play, we're going to get another 7. I got the revenge spots been cashing this year. I'll be on this for sure. I'm telling you guys, and they're going to be the dog, and I'm going to be on them. I don't need the money line, but I'm taking the points with the Spurs at the house tomorrow. And we know we're not having a show tomorrow, but that's my official show play for tomorrow, the Spurs. I like it. Another one, guys. So the Suns, I know we're talking about the Suns. I could do this all day, this basketball talk, man. I know the Suns, they're on a back-to-back as well, guys. They're going to be a back-to-back in Denver, one of the coveted spots. Nuggets don't play no damn defense, guys, but it's a huge bounce-back spot for them tomorrow. I hope the Suns play their hearts out tonight. And Chris Paul probably won't play in the back-to-back in Denver as well. Another thing I love looking to the future with y'all. Jordan, what you think about that?
I don't think I'm ever getting invested in the Denver Nuggets right now. Like they're one of the most overvalued teams in the entire league right now, ATS, simply because of what they did in the bubble. And then now you have a banged up Jamal Murray, and you're telling me that they're supposed to potentially be without him, and be even Phoenix on the second night of a back-to-back, probably coming off of a very tough game and having to travel from Utah to Denver on the second night. So this is like a true back-to-back, not a COVID back-to-back here. So it is I think that the Nuggets could theoretically, flip things around this year, but in no way would I put my money on the Denver Nuggets right now is what I see.
Got you. Junior, what you think? I'm seeing in the future, bro, without Chris Paul. They're not playing Chris Paul back-to-back in altitude. That's the one thing a lot, Junior. I'm telling you this for sure.
Yeah, so this is the hardest game I think to cap of the for tomorrow for sure, because this line. If I told you that the Suns are -2, you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. If I told you Denver was -2, is that really a much worse line? Like,
yeah,
you don't really know. This seems like a 50-50 game in the sense that, first of all, it's very possible that Chris Paul does not play. It's very possible that the Suns lose tonight and come back hungry tomorrow, or they win tonight and come back lethargic. It's possible that's a bounce back spot. I have no idea what's going to – I don't like to pretend to know shit I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this game tomorrow, especially not until I see the Suns play tonight.
Shameless plug. If Chris Paul does sit, you're going to get the current best Murray State racer who's not injured in the NBA balling against the Denver Nuggets tomorrow in campaign, just to forewarn everybody.
By the way,
I'll just put that out there.
Ain't nobody worried about no damn Cameron Payne.
Nah, don't start now. Campaign.
Ain't nobody worried about no damn Cameron Payne. Stop it, man.
Jordan, love you. You're one of my favorite dudes. I can't stand that dude, bro.
I prefaced that with
how many NBA teams has he been on, bro?
Ever since he used to do the pregame dance with Russell Westbrook, get him the F out of here, bro.
He's come a long way from there.
Come get him the F out of here, bro, please.
Hey, that's funny stuff, bro. Because they used
Can't wait till he drops 15.
Okay,
you remember that, Jay?
I remember. I remember
all these dumb
Hey,
young boy dances they were
Cameron
doing.
Payne, man, you stopped it, man. The Nuggets will
both
feast
y'all
on him.
mentions if campaign has a big game on New Year's Day.
Man, the Nuggets will feast on it. So the Nuggets, they haven't been playing a lot of defense. One thing I can tell you, the Nuggets, they finna be working on defense at practice. They're 1-3. They're coming back to the house. They'll be ready versus the Suns. I mean, I'll tell you, I'll probably be on the Nuggets tomorrow. I hate their defense right now, but some teams, I mean, they can kind of get it together. They're missing Grant Plum. They miss some players, but I think Murray will come back. I love to see how Murray gave them how Morris gave them that spark off the bench. They still got some players out there. They still got enough bench players, in my opinion, to beat the Suns on a back-to-back night where they had a rest advantage. They're coming off a couple of losses. I mean, they're pissed. They look terrible. Mike Malone's the type of coach, he's finna get in their ass. The Nuggets, I think they can bounce back from there. I really do think the defense hasn't looked good, but like I said, they're catching. It's a spot play. It's more of a. I'm gonna be watching the Suns versus Jazz game closely, very closely, watching the minutes closely. I can damn near guarantee you, Chris Paul, old shiny head ass, is not playing tomorrow. Love the Spurs tomorrow, like the Nuggets. Anything else for you guys, like that you're looking for towards some maybe Blazers versus the Warriors tomorrow? There's another one that I was looking at, and like I say, and the Jazz. So the Jazz are on a back-to-back, but there's no travel. So I'm sorry, I thought they were traveling to Clippers. Clippers going to Utah, so back-to-back for Utah, but Clippers coming to their house. But I was looking in the future at the Blazers versus the Warriors. I don't see anybody. I don't see the Warriors being able to keep up, in my opinion.
What do you think that line is? Blazers -3, 3.5?
Hell no.
I hope it's that short.
I would smash that.
I hope it's that short.
I think the public. I think the public is gonna be on the Warriors. That's what I think.
I would love that.
I hope so too. I hope so.
I
like the fire blizzard,
bro.
Like the
how have we not talked about this game real quick? Because I know you guys are we may not agree on some of these games. I know you're going to agree with me on this one. You got the Wizards coming off a back-to-back going to Minnesota. You know Washington's going to be laying points on the road, even coming off a back-to-back. It's going to be short, but are we? Russell Westbrook's probably not playing on the second half of back-to-back. I'm almost sure of that. I think a similar position where Minnesota could be a dog tomorrow, no Westbrook for Washington, and that could be Feast City. That was the one spot I thought you guys would be 100% in agreement with me on.
Possibly. I don't like taking the Timberwolves without Karl-Anthony Towns. So I really feel like they're a whole different team without Karl-Anthony Towns. They already I like them, but I mean, they really need Cat. Naz Reid's not bad, but it'd be interesting. I would love to see Westbrook and Bill sit. The life doesn't get that damn good, but I would love to see that.
I hope they go out and party a little too much tonight, and Minnesota's waiting for them coming off back-to-back after they've partied. And then
I'm going to be watching Instagrams. I'm watching Instagram tonight.
They're going to go party in Minnesota? Where are they going?
No, Chicago, bro. Or no, in Washington. They're not going to leave till tomorrow. They're going to stay tonight.
All right. Yeah, no, Chocolate City's lit. I used to go to Washington a lot.
I lived in the D.C. area for 4 years.
Guys, we got to bring Eric Smith on the show. Eric Smith say, with all due respect, my grandma knows more about basketball than Jay Money. Rockets getting blown out tonight. So I guess just one game he's telling me I know that I'm so wrong about, then his grandma knows. She's a lot older than me. She should know more about basketball. Yeah. In theory, I'm fucking 28, man. Stop it. Stop it, man. Eric Smith,
I'm not going to add. 2020's been a bad year. I'm not going to disrespect your grandma right now, but settle down, my guy.
It's been a bad year for you.
Get you a New Year's Eve. What am I gonna call this? Keep it PG. Get you a New Year's Eve gasolina pack. Yeah. And chill out.
A little champagne or prosecco tonight. Yeah, just
I ain't getting none of my gas. I'm watching Instagrams tonight, man. So we're gonna try to get some cash. Y'all follow us on Twitter, man. Even if we don't go have a show tomorrow, still may post some plays on Twitter, guys. So if you're not following us on Twitter, make sure you follow us, put them notifications on, hit the like button, subscribe. We appreciate you guys for watching the show. Go to sbrpicks.com/NBA. Check out all the articles and NBA content that we have over there. Like I say, follow us on Twitter, hit the like button if you like the content. Eric Smith, tell Granny to hit the like button. Tell her, hey, put them dentures in to come on the show one day, man. Hey, tell her have it all on at the old folks' home. You dig what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody for watching. Hit the like button. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with Jamie with J Money. We go.